Hi everyone, if all those letters and numbers confuse you, don't worry, you're on the right video, because now I will explain you Intel's CPU naming scheme starting from the first generation to the latest 15th. Generally, Intel CPUs have the following convention. First is the CPU product line or product family, followed by the model series, then is the generation of the CPU, then the SKU or model number, and finally the suffix. Product lines include Atom, Celeron, Pentium, Core, which was superseded by Core Ultra in the 15th generation, and the Xeon. Atom is a low-powered line designed for tablets and Internet of Things devices. Celeron is an entry-level line of budget CPUs, usually with less cache and lacking features like Intel Turbo Boost and hyper-threading. It is intended for basic users with minimal performance demands. Pentium originally was a flagship CPU line until the early 2000s, but subsequently Intel started using the brand name for budget CPUs, offering slightly better performance than the Celeron, but lower than the Core family. Note that both Celeron and Pentium lines were discontinued recently, with Intel replacing them with just Intel processor label instead. The Intel Core family offers higher performance, targeting a wide range of users, from casual users to enthusiasts and professional creators, to meet diverse needs. Lastly, the Xeon line is designed for servers and workstations. It includes advanced features such as ECC memory support, enhanced reliability, and support for multi-CPU configurations. The Celeron lineup has undergone numerous naming changes over the years, resulting in a confusing scheme that makes comparison difficult without research. Initially, desktop Celerons were named using numbers corresponding to their frequency in megahertz. Intel later introduced prefixes starting with D, which was eventually replaced by E. The G prefix was introduced with the shift from the frontside bus to the direct media interface, and later the J prefix was added for low-power CPUs. For laptops, the names began with the word mobile and the frequency number, but transitioned to prefixes system over time. The M prefix was first used, followed by the T for high-powered CPUs and SU for low-power CPUs. Later, P designated standard-powered CPUs and U signified ultra-low-power models. The B prefix briefly replaced high-power CPUs, while lower-powered options went without a prefix until they were eventually marked with N. Additionally, with the introduction of the third-generation Intel Core processors, the Celeron line adopted a series numbering system, where larger numbers indicate newer generations. The Pentium lineup follows a similar naming scheme. Since the first generation of the Core family, the higher-powered desktop models have used the G prefix, while lower-powered versions have used the J. Mobile Pentium processors went through multiple prefix changes before settling on N. In 2017, Intel split the brand into Pentium Silver and Pentium Gold, with Gold offering better performance. As with Celeron, frequent naming changes make it difficult to determine CPU's release date or compare models, but usually higher numbers indicate the newer and more powerful versions. Covering the entire Xeon lineup in a summary would be a challenge, worthy of a video on its own, but since most of you aren't here for that, I'll just list you the main tiers. There's also the Max series, featuring integrated high bandwidth memory designed for modeling, AI training, and high-performance computing. The Intel Core product family features several tiers: i3 for entry-level computers, i5 for mid-range machines, typically it's ideal for most people, i7 for high-performance users, and i9 designed for enthusiasts and professionals requiring the highest possible performance. Starting with the 15th generation, the Core product family replaced the I prefix with the term Ultra, becoming Ultra 3, Ultra 5, Ultra 7, and Ultra 9 respectively. The generation of the CPU allows the user to easily identify which architecture was used for building the chip and how recent is it. Every generation has a code name and manufacturing node in nanometers, which represent the transistor gate length used to build the CPU. Intel Core numbering dates back to 2008, superseding the Core 2 named generation, and since then, the first numbers after a class of the CPU signified the generation number from 1 to 14. The Core Ultra series marked a new beginning for the numbering, so the 14th generation Core Ultra mobile processors started with 1. There are no desktop Core Ultra processors released in the 14th generation, but for consistency, all the 15th generation CPUs start with 2. The stock keeping unit is a unique identifier for the specific product variant. It does not provide much useful information about the core count or clock speed of the CPU, but usually a higher SKU number means better performance. The suffix provides additional details such as the intended use, overclock support, and the presence of integrated graphics. The CPU can have 1, 2, or no suffixes at all. Sometimes a lower tier CPU with a certain suffix can outperform higher tier CPU. For desktop processors, commonly used suffixes are T. The CPU is optimized for low power consumption. K. The CPU is unlocked for overclocking. Typically, they also offer better performance out of the box. F means that the CPU does not include integrated graphics, and KF, which combines the previous two. For laptops, the commonly used suffixes are U for CPUs with lower thermal design power, designed for thin and light laptops. P. Performance-focused CPUs for ultrabooks with higher TDP. H are high-performance CPUs for more intensive tasks, and HX are desktop-class performance CPUs for heavily demanding tasks. They are commonly used in gaming and professional work laptops. Additionally, HK is sometimes used for high-performance processors which are unlocked for overclock. The G suffix denotes CPU with integrated graphics with a higher number indicating better graphics performance. So let's take a few examples. Here, from the G7 suffix, we can conclude that this is a mobile processor with a higher level of graphics performance. i7 classifies it as a high-performance class, and 11 indicates that it was produced in 2020 or 2021. This is a high-performance desktop processor judging by the i7 and the suffixes, with K indicating that the processor is unlocked for overclocking, while F means that it does not include integrated graphics. From the HX in this example, we can tell that it's a mobile processor with a desktop level power. It's part of the 14th generation, and the i9 marks it as a top tier CPU. Here, by the U suffix, we can determine that this is a mobile processor with a focus on better battery life. The Ultra branding shows that it's from Intel's recent rebrand, and the 200 series identifies it as a 2025 model. The 5 classifies it as a middle range CPU. I hope you now have a better understanding of Intel CPU naming. Press the like button if it was helpful, subscribe to my channel if you would like to support it, and leave a comment below if you want to share something. Thank you for watching.